All right, YouTube. So there was no consultation here. He literally just told me, bro, do what you want. And when he told me that, I said, you know what? We're gonna do a classic haircut, something he can do, you know, several styles. And I just looked at what he already had, and I just wanted to compliment, you know, what I didn't want to do anything drastic like a bald fade or anything like that. So we went with shear work. It's not very often I get a client or a model that would be a good canvas for shear work, just because of the demographics that my shop is in. Mostly more of a urban look, right? So we get a lot of bald fades, hard lines, and stuff like that. So we started off with cross graduation, and what you'll notice is I'm taking about 1/2 inch sections and I'm going down to about the occipital bone, and I'm stopping there. The reason for that is because the one thing he did tell me is he likes a number 3 behind the ears and you know, on the back. So we're gonna do a number 3 at some point, but I'm gonna try to leave some movement and some texture on the sides. So we'll probably just do a number 3 up to the occipital bone as leading into this shear work. So if you notice, every single time I take a section, there should be a guide that tells me what length I'm connecting this to. Okay, and so this is probably going to be my last section, since the hair on the crown is not going to reach anyways. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to try to focus and explain what I'm doing here. So notice that my tension is going straight out. I am taking diagonal sections, but see how you can see through the hair, and you can kind of see where it gets darker. That's your previous cutting line. So that's where you want to cut this hair to make sure that everything is nice and even. And you can see sometimes I can't see it. There's 2 things you can do there. You can resection the hair, or you can lift the hair that you have and see and look for your last cutting guide. Here especially, you can see, you know, the last cutting line with the new cut, with the hair that you're gonna cut. Okay, so hopefully I'm not confusing you guys and it's all making sense. And we're doing the same thing pretty much leading into the back here. That's it. The sides are cut. We're gonna go through and just kind of make sure, cross-check everything. I think that's looking good. So at this point, we've taken a section, if you notice, from the recession to the apex, and then from the apex down to the crown, and we brought all that hair over, and we're just making sure that it connects to the side. So this is hair that from the round of his head would normally with gravity fall over to the sides. I just want to make sure it's connected and nice and squared. Here, right here where I'm cutting, there's going to be a point just because of the way we did that cross graduation. So I was just kind of straightening it out. Now, I've already cut the top, but I didn't get to record it. So I'm going through this section one more time. That way you guys can see how I cut the top. And notice I brought everything up nice and square. So at this point, we're going to start taking vertical sections, and we're just cross-checking. Notice everything looks even. I'm just kind of nipping away at, you know, little tiny strays. If anything is super long or super uneven, go back to those horizontal sections you first took and then cut it that way. But since everything we've done so far that we've cross-checked is pretty damn even, all I'm really doing is refining and nipping away at any little stray hairs, any little peaks and valleys. Big peaks and valleys, go back to horizontal and recut the hair. But everything looked pretty good, man. At this point, I'm just being OCD. All right, so the scissor work is pretty much done. Everything else that we're going to start doing here is going to be either clipper work or it's going to be scissor over comb, in which case we want to make sure the hair is dry. So I'm going to do a quick dry to give it a little bit of volume, but also put myself in a position where I can do some clipper work into a semi-finished product. So notice I'm starting from the crown, working my way up to the sides and to the front of his hair. But we're not moving on until the hair we're blow drying is dry. Then we'll move on. The reason why we're doing this is because we don't want wet hair to sit on, or we don't want dry hair to sit on top of wet hair. So we'll start with the back, since we're gonna comb the hair backwards. That way we don't run into that issue. And notice that I'm kind of splitting the hair. That's because I want the air and the heat to flow into the roots as well. So I brush it in different directions to make sure that the heat is hitting all the hair shafts in all sides. This is not my blow dryer, by the way. I borrowed this from Kendrick. Thank you, Kendrick, for letting me borrow that. My blow dryer is still missing. There's still a $200 reward out for it. All right, so now we're doing a number 3, and notice we're kind of just freehanding with a guard, right? So it's a number 3 at the temple, a number 3 behind the ear, a number 3 below the occipital bone, and as we go up, we're just shaping, freehanding into the scissor work that we've already done. Now, this is a technique that I do whenever I have a haircut like this, and I don't feel like doing clip over comb or grabbing a new guard. The comb adds about a 1.5 guard to your clipper, so I pretty much just use the comb with the guards to create the next levels, and then kind of like do clipper over comb and shape into the scissor work. Really good technique that works in my opinion. What you want to do is focus on the cutting blade and not the guard as much. That way you know and you can see that you are indeed cutting hair. But this is a great way to save a little bit of time, and it works amazing in my opinion. So if you have the comb to the scalp, you're adding about a 1.5. As you lift off the scalp and you let your clipper kind of follow whatever line you're creating, whatever shape you're creating with the comb, you know, it's just like doing clipper over comb. All right, at this point we've kind of finished. We're gonna go ahead and taper out the back, and I'm just fading down. So we did a 3, remember back here we did a 2 open, 2 closed. Right now we're doing a 2 open, I believe. But below that we just have finished off with the 1.5 guard. So now, since we've already done the 1.5 guard, now we're doing the 1 guard open, closing it little by little, and then we'll drop down to the half guard, that green half guard, and then we'll finish out the taper with no guard, blade open, close it little by little until it's completely finished. This process is just fading down. You're literally just following each guard number in descending order. So 3, 2, 1.5, 1, no guard, close it until it's zeroed out, and then you'll use the trimmer to completely ball them out, and that taper is done. You can go back in detail, obviously, which is something I always like to do. I don't know if y'all see that box in the background to the left, but Babyliss sent me a whole bunch of heat over the weekend. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up the hairline.
Tito, let's get it.
Give him that nice. There's a nice balance between a soft look, textured look, and those clean, crispy, hard lines. All right, so I'm connecting the sideburns and the temple area to the beard using my fine tooth part of my comb and just doing trimmer over comb. We're gonna go ahead and outline his C cup. It's not gonna be crazy sharp because he has length here and I don't want to push him back. I want this to grow back nicely, and I think it's clean, it's sharp, but it's done tastefully considering the haircut and the final look we're going for. Okay, so I always try to do scissor over comb to refine everything. This is cross-checking. You can take horizontal sections, pull the hair out, and nip at the peaks and valleys like this. Okay, you can do this, but I like to do a combination of both, just because it allows me to confirm that my scissor over comb is indeed, you know, cross-checking and making sure everything is even, everything is clean, there's no peaks and valleys or no chunks of hair. Especially with this hair color, I definitely like to do both scissor over comb and take horizontal sections like that, because this salt and pepper hair can play tricks on you. It can make it look like there's dark patches or bulk in certain areas, but when you cross check it, it's perfectly even. There's no peaks and valleys. You know, for me, it makes me sleep good at night to double check these things. Especially with this hair color. If any, my barbers, you guys know, you know, my barbers with experience, you guys know how problematic this hair color can be. But when it's done right, it looks amazing. All right, we're cleaning up his beard line. He doesn't normally have a beard because his job won't really let him. That's a shame, man, because the beard with this cut, to me, looks insane. Looks crazy. I don't really grow a beard too much, so I'd love to, you know, switch beards. All right, we're going to follow the trimmer and the beard shaping on the bottom with the shaver, of course. Get that nice close finish. I'm not going to make the mustache skinny or anything. I'm just cleaning it up, making it look natural, but groomed. All right. Put some Tomb 45 shave gel on him to make this shave comfortable using the Tomb 45 triple cartridge razor. We do have custom colors available on the website. Get those because they will sell out. Tomb45.com. And we're cleaning up with the razor around the entire hairline just to add some longevity to this haircut. And notice I use a lot of corners of my blade, guys. And now we're going to add some product to the haircut. I chose to use a clay for a more natural look. His hair isn't naturally straight. It has a little bit of waviness, and I actually enjoyed that about his hair. I think his hair texture is dope. And so what I decided to do was to give you guys two different looks. This is more of a pomp, you know, with volume, more of a straight look. And then I'm gonna show you. So this is style number 1. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, which style you like better. I feel like this looks amazing, but it's really hard for somebody who works at UPS to maintain this. This is a good look if he's going out, if he's going on a date, going out for dinner, wants a professional look. This is a great look for him. But on a daily grind, man, at work, he may not want to do that. He may want to just hop out the shower, and I'm using a diffuser, but to get this look, put some clay in his hair, let it air dry, and this is the look he's gonna have, style number 2. So I think that this one's more functional. The other one is more for, let me get dressed up, let me get in my bag, have a good night. That's how I feel about it. But you guys let me know in the comments which style you like better. Guys, we got this full-length tutorial on the Academy available right now. See y'all tomorrow.